Hi, I'm Sharon, and this is my slightly delayed Flosstube number 2. Hi there, welcome to my channel. This is only my second Flosstube. My first one was at the beginning of December, a little dip your toes into the Flosstube world. I was intending on doing one right at the beginning of January, but I took quite ill just after Christmas, and I've been stuck in bed with flu for the past wee while. There was a few days where I just slept 20 hours out of 24, and then the rest of the time I stitched, because it's all I could do. I stitched and I shopped and I watched floss tubes and whip parades and all that. So I've been completely enabled. There's quite a wee bit of haul to show you later on, quite a few bits that I've ordered, and I will shout out the people that have enabled me. You don't get off that easy. Anyway, let's see what we've got. I have got UFOs. I also have notes. I needed to write notes because I'm so woolly headed. Still look a bit windswept and interesting. Anyway, so I've got UFOs, FOs, FFOs, whips, haul, and then I'll be shouting out the people that have enabled me to buy the haul. And then I'll talk about maybe new starts and what my plans are for the next 12 months. So make a brew and let's get on with it. So first of all, my unfinished objects that have been languishing in the bottom of the cross stitch box for a very, very long time. And I'm ashamed to show these off. So anyway, first one, I don't know if there's a date on this. Let's have a look and see. So the first one is Farmyard Fun. This is an old DMC kit and I absolutely love this, but I'll show you where I've got to and the reason that I've fallen out of love with it. Now, do I have a board? I don't like it having a board. And squeaky chair. That's backwards, that won't help. So this is how much I've done of it. And I do love it, even though it's got lots of backstitch in it, I do love it. But I wish I had never started the gingham border. I think I probably would have finished it and framed it if it wasn't for that gingham border. But I'm maybe going to have to just suck it up and get on with it because it's so bright and colourful and I don't want to just ditch it. Definitely not. So I will put it back in the whip pile for this year, possibly at some point. So anyway, that was Farmyard Fun. Now this one, you probably all recognise these. This is in All Our Yesterdays. I'll grab my board again. I forget about the light. I've got a lovely new ring light I got for Christmas. So this is an All Our Yesterdays one. And I got to the point where I realised I had gone too far up. Now I don't even have that much to do. So what I think I'll do is pop in a couple of the seagulls here, finish off the bits of back stitching stitching around here. I don't think I'll bother with all the boards because they come down to about there. And that should only take a couple of sessions. So Lord knows why it's just lying there. But yeah, I think I'm going to bring this out again, get it finished, clear my conscience. Now this one is really shocking. So this is a Simplicity cross stitch kit and it's a bell pull. Okay, so it's all very lovely. And then, oh dear, oh dear. Right, so I started. Here we go, there's the balloon and I even did all the cross stitch. And then I got that house done and the little bandstand and the cross stitch. And then I got all the way down to here, almost at the bottom, and I stopped. I mean, there is not that much to go. So let's see if we can get that in here. So really, you know, it's just a little bit of garden and a little bit of back stitch. So it's shocking that I haven't finished that. So that's definitely going to get some love and attention this year because, you know, I can't just leave them languishing in the boxes. Next I have, this is my Autumn Fox and I did chop it off here because it went all the way down. So I'm going to make it into a cushion. I will get back to stitching it, but I don't have enough room and enough frames, but I will definitely not be giving up on her. And this is My Sweet Voodoo. This is one of my designs, and she will definitely be getting more attention. She kind of symbolises all my aches and pains and ailments and illnesses. And I fell out of love with her this year because I started the year with flu. So I thought, no, let's not go there. But she will come back out and she will get more love and attention. So that is my unfinished objects. But these are definitely on the board for this year. Now, let's see what's next. Sorry about the squeaky chair. I really need to get a new one. Now, where's my little note? Oh dear. Disaster already. We've lost the note. Now, finished objects. Now these are just as embarrassing because these finished objects have been lying in my cross stitch box 10, 20 plus years, and I've done nothing with them, and they are completely stitched, everything done. No reason why they're not in frames. So this one, Clara's Cliff teapot and teacup. Now that is out of one of the cross stitcher World of Cross Stitching magazines from many moons ago. I do have a subscription to is it Pocket Plus? It's one of the subscription ones where you can access all the cross stitch charts, all the magazines. So I'm going to have a look and see if I can find it. It needs a bit of a wash, but yeah, I might actually add Clara's Cliff, the name and the dates at the bottom, and then get that framed. So yeah, that's been a long time in the making. And then there's this one. Now this was a kit, stitched it up really quickly. I think my little boy was only the same age as that little boy at the time, and he's now a 23-year-old married man. So there we go. Maybe him and Emily have a little boy in the future. Now this one stitched up quite quickly because I stitched it on peach fabric, so I didn't have to do the bodies. And I have no idea where I got the chart from, but it's so cute, and I really need to get it in a frame and find a space of wall. But as you can see behind me, you know, there's cross stitch absolutely everywhere. There is not much wall space left. I might have to start putting them on the ceiling. And next, now this, I designed this over 20 years ago, and I designed a companion piece. So there was Feed Me and there was Tickle Me, and I stitched this up to see what it would look like. And because I did it on an old software, I've no longer got the chart. However, I do have a printout of the Tickle Me chart. So I may rechart them in my new software and see if I can figure out what this one's all about. See if I can rechart this as well, because it's so nice. Little blue cat. It was a guy I worked with in BT many years ago, and he helped to draw them for me, and he just captured them. I used to have a Russian blue when I was very young, and I just wanted a blue cat. So yeah, I've got the chart for one, but not the other, but we'll get back to that. So that is my finished objects, and I think there's another one down here, which is a very almost finished object. Sorry about turning my back. So this is my toast sampler. Now this was in my whip pile to be worked on throughout the rest of the year. However, being unwell, I managed to get most of it done. The only reason it's not finished is because I've run out of floss. So as soon as the floss comes in, I will just get tore in and get that one finished. But yeah, I wasn't expecting to get that much done. I think if you look at my whips from the beginning of December, you'll see how much was needed to do on this. Definitely not one I expected to finish. So there we go. So that is an almost finish. And there is another finish. Excuse my back. He was also in the whip parade, and I've put him in a frame but because I was a bit wonky, I'm going to reframe them. I'm waiting on black box frame coming. So this is little Batty. Sorry about the reflection. So if you look at my whip parade, he also needed a fair bit of work done, and now he's finished. So I'll get him mounted and framed, and I'll show him off the next time round. And another, well, let's have a look at the finished object. These are laughable. So this year I really want to make lots of little cushions. As you can see from what I stitch, I always seem to stitch big projects, and I want to make little cushions and just have a big basket of little cushions. So that is the plan. These, I designed and stitched these 20 plus years ago. And on Monday, just 2 days ago, I turned them into little cushions. Oops, and threw them away. So yep, so there's a little deco rose one. I added a little butterfly, just felt on the back, and a little handmade button, and then the little purple flower. Again, I charted these in old software, which I think it was Easy Cross, which is it just doesn't work anymore. So if I have the printouts, I may rechart them. Got a little bit of fluff on it. But yeah, those are my little cushions, and I stitched them by hand, and it took forever. So I have actually ordered a little sewing machine. It's only about £50 from Hobbycraft, just so I can whiz these up. I'm not a dressmaker. I won't be doing anything much more than little cozy cushions. How cute are they? So let's see what's next on the list. Now, do you want a wee tour of all my finishes that are on the wall? Let's go for it. Right, so I've got my phone in my ring light, and I'm wandering about with it like it's a steering wheel. So here we go, our little grand tour. You might just catch a little corner. I think that's just the ring light. Let's see if we can. There we go. Let's give this a try. So this is Brave. I found her online. I've got a whole series of them, but there was a heck of a lot of backstitch in that, but she's lovely. And then underneath, there's my Sweet Voodoo. That's the original drawing. And then if we zoom out a bit here, sorry about the ring light, that is the Rose of Sharon. She was started in 1996 and finished in 2020. And we have another little doodle here. And then we've got Mickey and some lovely opalescent fabric. And then over this side, a little design by Gloria and Pat, Precious Moments. And this little cat up here, that was one of the very first things I ever cross-stitched. I do still have the book somewhere. If I find it, I'll pop it in later in this video. This is Editing Sharon here. I found the book. Stay tuned. In this video. And then we've got these little birdies up here. You see my finger? These little birdies up here. It's such a small project, but it took forever to stitch. I do have a companion piece, but I'm not sure if I'll do it. And we have this one over here. This is from a cross stitch magazine. I can't remember which one. If I find out, I will pop it in below. But again, that was backstitch heavy, and I've discovered I'm not a fan of backstitch. There we go. Everything I'm showing you seems to have lots of backstitch in it. So this was one that was started in, I think, the year 2000 and finished in 2020. And then we have an Emma Congdon design, Hot Chocolate. Again, backstitch, backstitch, backstitch. And there's my lucky one. I don't know if I can do anything different with this ring light. Probably not. So, see if we can tip that away from the camera. No, so that's just a little lucky one that I've got. I've also got a full chart book of that one, so I will be doing more. And this one, where on earth have I got a knot in the wire? If I can zoom right in here, this is all French knots. I couldn't do French knots until I did this design. So French knots and beading. And there we have now what was the enchanted alphabet. That was a delight to stitch. But when I moved house in 2023 or 2024, the frame got damaged, so I'll have to get that fixed. And then we've got the teddy bears row of love. So that's all the ones I've got sitting in my room. There are more dotted about the house and many more that have been gifted. So I hope you enjoyed that little tour. Right, so grab myself a little cuppa in between, and it's gotten so dark. It's only been about 20 minutes and we've gone from daytime to nighttime. But anyway, I've got my little cross stitch journal. Let's see where we're up to with the whips. So the first one is Dream Raven. I keep losing my board. Put it down, never to be seen again. I mean, it's A3 size, how could you possibly lose it? But anyway, hopefully it's not too bad. So last time round, Dream Raven only had 3% because I kept having to frog this rose. For some reason, I couldn't get it right. So I've managed to finish the rose, do another layer around here and a few more of these strings. And she is now sitting at 17%. So a fair amount of stitching gone into that one. Then we've got Snow Maiden. She hasn't had a lot of stitching. I think mainly I've just done her hair and maybe a little strip down here, but she does require a lot more counting and my foggy brain just couldn't help. So she's gone from 30% to 33%. And then since it's January, there has to be a new start. Obviously, it's a new year. So the one, let's find the chart. I've had to tidy up this morning. I can find nothing. Isn't that terrible? So I've had this on my wish list for such a long time, so I thought that can be my new start. So it's Quakers in Scotland by Tempting Tangles. I absolutely love this. So I have stitched pretty much monogamously on this for the past few days. And she is sitting at 14%. And I love that you could just do all the little bits. I'm going to add extra embellishments as I go because I think the chart lends itself to that. The bagpipes didn't have any tassels, but as you can see, I've popped tassels on. And I will add in maybe some beads and some sparkly thread. So yeah, Tempting Tangles is sitting at 14%. I'm thoroughly enjoying stitching that. And considering all the jumping about, I haven't had to frog anything yet. So I wonder why some things are more froggy than others. Who knows? And then New Year, so a new temperature sampler. So this is one of my own designs, and I'm trying to get ahead of the game with the months and get them prepared, because in the past I've maybe had the January, whatever it was, the butterfly, and then by the time I get to February I haven't done the background work, so I've just not carried on. So I'm determined I'm going to do it this year. So I think we've got the first 5 days here. Pretty darn cold here. So that is my temperature sampler, little test tubes. And I think that is all I've got for whips, other than all the other ones that I'm now going to add into the pile. So, you know, I've only got a small business to run. It's okay. I've got plenty of time to stitch, especially when cross-stitching is the main part of your small business. I could call it work and get away with it. Yep, so let's see what's next on the list. Right, time for some haul and naming and shaming those that have enabled me. But first, while I was looking for my haul, I came across the book from the cat cross stitch. Now the cats aren't even stitched, it is just rounding about. And this is dated, I'm sure I said 1986. Yes, 1986 by Leisure Arts. Look at the price, $3 for a Leisure Arts chart. Those were the days. Yeah, so I'm thrilled I've still got this. How adorable are they? So I hope to stitch more of them because I do have 5 grand fur babies. Yes, 1 grandchild, 5 grand fur babies. So I thought I would just show you that. So let's see who's first on the naughty step. So, watching a Flosstube by Ditsy Daisy Crafts, and she was showing a whip that she had called, I think it's Piece of the Sea, and I just had to find out where she got it. So I dropped her a wee line and there we are. Little mouse and thistles. There is a ladder, but like Ditsy Daisy Crafts, I won't be stitching the ladder because no Scottish mouse is going to need a ladder to climb a thistle. It's just a done deal. So, yep, so that is a full kit. That's probably the first full kit I have bought in such a long time. So we'll get started on that eventually. This one. Now this was, it's like a picture that's on a Facebook page that I've recently joined. So I just had to get that, but I'm recharting it in a wind stitch so that I can pop it in Pattern Keeper because I think those snowflakes, I'll end up messing them up. So yeah, hopefully we'll get that one done for Christmas this year. Then Melanie Make and Makes was talking about the cotton and twine sub box, which I know a lot of people do. So I decided to sign up for it and I got my first box the other day. And this is the chart that's in it. So a little cushion, so that fits in well with my plans for this year. Lovely little cushion, so I'll get started on that whenever. Then I was watching Stitch Bunny. Stitch Bunny is somebody I have watched for years and years and years, and she was showing off all our lovely goodies from Christmas. And I do have an order coming from 123 Stitch with some Mill Hill kits that she was showing off. But she also mentioned a company that I haven't looked at for a long time, Satsuma Street. So I went on their website, you know, I was ill in bed and just needing a little browse, and I found these. And I printed them out. How cute are these? So I think I'll use different counts of fabric to get different sizes. I've ordered some 11 count, so that I could do quite a chunky one, and then I'll maybe do a 16 count and an 18 count and do a whole family of little chicks and chickens because they are so cute and they've all got funny sentiments on their butts. Let's see if I can, yeah. Make eggs, not war. Give peeps a chance. Make sure they're not too rude. Let it beak. So that is the groovy chicks, and the funky chickens are Oh For Cluck's Sake and What the Cluck and Guess What Chicken Butt. I absolutely love these. These are going to sit in a tray, and when I get visitors I'm going to pick them up and read the bottom. So yeah, so that is the 3 people that have kind of enabled me to buy things. But I have a whole list of other floss tubers that have kept me company these past couple of weeks. Well, I've been really quite poorly. I haven't been that poorly in such a long time. So I will give them all a mention. If there's any more I haven't mentioned here that I have watched, I will add you in. But let's see how many of these you recognise. So there's Colourfully Cross Stitched, Stitching by the Shore, Hands on Design. I watched that yesterday. I just love how she finishes everything. Absolutely adore it. Champagne and Stitches, Talking Dog Stitcher, Mad Morty and the Brom, Teresa Little Stitcher, Alba Stitcher, Crafty Emily, Just So Sherry, Jen the Caffeinated Stitcher, Cross Stitch Jess, and the 3 enablers, Ditsy Daisy Crafts, Melanie Make and Makes, and Cross Stitch Bunny. And I'm sure there is another one that's on the tip of my tongue. Oh my goodness, she did a whole entire Flossmas. I will add her in here because I need to find her, because she was just hilariously funny and really just made me laugh throughout December. So I will add your name in here and put you on the list. Yeah, so that's everything stitchy related, I think. I haven't done any new designs myself for a few weeks, but I have been taking notes, and it's going to be interesting looking at those notes because, you know, having a bit of a fever, mind was a bit woolly. So I've written down some ideas for things I want to design. I'm not going to name them here because some of them are a bit, yeah, a bit bonkers. But yeah, I'm looking to extend my cross stitch offerings. I've got them on Etsy and I've also got them on my own website, and I'm adding more bits and pieces in. I've designed a cute little notepad for your little stitchy notes, and I've ordered some scissors and snips and some needle minders because I really want to grow that corner of my business. But you know, if you're interested, pop over, have a look. Some really cute things over there, lovely pins and notepads, and we all need pretty things in our lives. But I think that's it. No doubt as soon as I stop this vlog, I will come across something else that I've forgotten to tell you about. If so, I'll add it in here. But anyway, thanks for sticking with me for this long. I really need to go and do something because I'm still a bit windswept and yeah, still got bedhead. But I'm definitely feeling much better. Looking forward to getting on with a lot of stitching, a lot of things that I've vowed to do this year. Incorporate all those new starts, old starts, and let's just see where the year takes us. So I hope you're all warm and cosy wherever you are. I know it's pretty rotten throughout the UK at the moment. Really cold and frosty. And so stay cosy, keep stitching. Like and subscribe to this channel if you want to watch it. I also do studio vlogs for my small business, but Flosstube is something I have wanted to do for years. So I'm thrilled to be able to do it now. So please join me on this crazy journey of all things cross stitch. As you can see, I've got them, everything sorted over here, my threads, my pens, my Lego. This, I mean, it's like a kid's corner. It's just got all the good stuff in it. So I shall leave you like that for now. Any little add-ons I shall pop on the end of here. But thanks for joining me, thanks for listening, and I'll see you all next month. Bye.